The equation for a polynomial function p of x is given. The equation for the transform function is t of x. So think of it as p is the parent function, and the child function, you look a little bit like your parents, you're just a little bit different. That's t of x. The equation for the transform function t of x is, in terms of p of x, is also given. Describe the transformation. So let's put a 1 right there. Describe the transformation performed on p of x that produced it. Then write an equation for t of x in terms of x. So this describing is something we've done before. We basically make some observations. And you make them with letters and numbers. Letters and numbers. So that's the first thing you're going to do. And the second one, we're going to do this substitution. So as a warm-up, go ahead and do the observation, letters, and numbers. Basically describe the transformation. So basically look at this, right? Figure out inside, outside. Is it to the left or to the right? Is it A, B, C, or D? Can you put some numbers to it? And can you tell me what's happening? Go ahead and take 2 minutes by yourself, and then we'll do it together. Francois, can you tell us some observations you saw? Say again? This one's outside the parentheses? Okay. Question. Is this A, B, C, or D? Okay, you did say it was outside the parentheses, so outside of my red lines. Is it to the left of the parentheses or to the right of the parentheses? Yeah, A. So what is your A value? 0.5. If I look at my list here, 0.5, is it bigger than 1, between 0 and 1, or less than 0? Francois? It would be less than 1. So you have a what? Of? Okay, so we have a vertical compression. Vertical compression. And then you can just write the number by a factor of 0.5. By a factor of 0.5. Okay? Alright, that takes care of our 0.5 in front. David, what's the other one? Okay, take a look at it. Here's this negative sign. Is it on the inside or outside? Okay, so inside represents my red here. Is it to the left or to the right of the x? Correct. So is it going to be B or C? Okay, so I have a B value that equals -1. David, if B is -1, is that greater than 1, between 0 and 1, or less than 0? Correct. So what does it tell us? Yeah, we're going to have a reflection over the y-axis. Reflection over y-axis. So these are our descriptions of the transformations. Okay, so we've been working on this for the past couple of days. All right, this next part is new. It tells us to write an equation for t of x in terms of x. So let's write t of x, write your equation for t of x. So here's t of x equals 0.5p negative x. Okay, here I have this p. P of x represents x to the 5th. So let's write that. 0.5 x to the 5th. But here's what's different about it. Let's use a different color. Hopefully you can see this very clearly. It's saying in the function of p, input -x. For every x value, you're going to put in -x. So we're going to have to put in a negative x. So I have 0.5 times 0.5 to the 5th power. Now I guess I don't really need that second set of parentheses. What did I do? That was wrong. Every x value we're supposed to put in what? Negative x. Sorry. It's supposed to be negative x. That's why it's green. That's why we highlighted it green. Okay. How many negative x's do I have, class? How many? 5 of them. Okay, so let's write it out. Class, negative times a negative? Positive times a positive? And positive times a negative. So our answer is going to be negative 0.5 x to the 5th power. T of x equals negative 0.5 x to the 5th power. So let's review what we just did. I made some observations, letters, and numbers, and this is my describing the transformation. To write an equation in terms of t of x, so this is my starting point. That's why I wrote t of x here. It says we're basically going to put in negative x to your p function. So I put p as x to the 5th. But every x value, we're not going to just put in x anymore. We're going to put in negative x. And then we just expanded it and then simplified.